Donald Trump is already causing waves with members of the media. He has scolded several journalists just in the past week. So is the Washington press corps ready for President Trump? Let's get some thoughts now from Fox News media analyst and host of Fox Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz. Good evening, Howard. Good to see you.
Same here, Doug.
You know, we've seen some evidence that Trump is making a course correction. But then again, we saw this meeting with media executives, television news executives, and highly paid anchors in which he apparently excoriated them. We also saw this meeting with the New York Times staffers and the editorial board. What do you make of them and the contrast between the two?
Well, it's a dysfunctional relationship, but it's the only relationship both sides have. Now, Trump may not have excoriated the television executives and anchors to the degree it's been reported, but at the same time, he is savvy enough to know that on some level he needs the mainstream press that he loves to attack. And, you know, going to the New York Times for that meeting rather than receiving a delegation in Trump Tower was, I am told by somebody close to the president, a sign of respect, trying to mend fences with the paper.
You know, it's been 2 weeks, over 2 weeks since his election. Why hasn't he had a press conference yet?
You know, we're seeing a very different Donald Trump during the campaign when he was constantly doing interviews and on TV. Now, this may be because he is circumventing the press by putting out his own video on his policy priorities, using Twitter as a weapon. He's very good at that. But at the same time, he is pretty engrossed in assembling a government which is much more challenging for an outsider who doesn't have long, deep political relationships. And so I don't think he feels the need to be on television quite as much. The downside for him is that the news agenda right now being shaped by leaks and speculation.
And how will his appointments affect his relationship with the press?
Well, for example, if President-elect Trump names our colleague Laura Ingraham as press secretary to some communications job, she is an aggressive and strong-willed conservative who will push his agenda, but at the same time understands the needs of TV, radio, and the web. If he names a more mild-mannered personality, it could be a bit of a more peaceful relationship. But really, the tone is set at the top, Doug, and President-elect Trump will set that tone if he continues to attack what he likes to call the corrupt and dishonest media. Then there will be a much more contentious relationship. If he seeks to smooth things over, look, he knows how to do this, and the press needs to cover him aggressively but fairly, which hasn't always been the case.
Well, this is interesting because I saw what I detected to be a bit of a tone shift last week, and I was up in Bedminster, his golf club up there, among the media pool waiting outside. And on Saturday afternoon, as it started getting colder and colder as the sun was going down, and people were freezing up there, he would open the door to the clubhouse there as he was greeting prospective appointments and ask, you know, with cupped lips, how you guys doing out there? Need anything? And some of the local New York press said, yeah, how about some coffee? How about some hot chocolate thing? And he said, you know, I'm not supposed to do that, but I will. And then out would come the spread of, you know, hot dogs and coffee and hot chocolate. That was a shift. That's not at all, you know, like what he treated the press at all of those rallies where he called them, you know, third-rate, dishonest, absolute scum. He was making an overture of goodwill, apparently.
Yeah, Donald Trump can be very charming when he wants to be, and he can even do it toward both conservative and liberal pundits who've been very, very critical of him. At the same time, we've all seen him do that for a day or two or a week, and then a story ticks him off, and he goes on the attack. So we're still not quite sure which Donald Trump will be getting in the White House.
It could be carrot and stick both at the same time, depending on the need, I suspect.
Indeed.
All right, Howard Kurtz, good to see you. Always appreciate your perspective. Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.